Who's up front here?
Mommy and Papi, man. Shout out to you if you know who family is.
Was it your mother who told you not to have a backup plan? Because weren't you going to become a journalist?
Yeah, my mom said you should dive in, and I was scared because everyone talks about like when you're in school, you know, it's not like there's not a lot of people that be like, oh yeah, be a musician. Everyone's like, go to college, be a doctor, be a lawyer, you know, which is fine if that's what you want to do, but it just didn't hit me.
Right.
It didn't make me feel good, but I was scared since that doubt was put in my head since I was a kid in school that if I go in and go into debt for school and pay for that, I'm going to be wasting my money, considering the fact that everyone kind of turns their noses up to that profession because it's kind of a shot in the dark.
Right.
But it's just, and this is something that I consistently repeat to everyone, you don't have to be scared of it. You just have to know that there's not a blueprint. Because you know that if you go to school to become a lawyer, if you do everything and you follow all the rules, you're going to become a lawyer. If you go to school and become a doctor and you follow all the rules, you're fine because you have a list of shit that you got to do. But if you want to be a musician, the only thing you got to know is that there's no blueprint. You just got to make sure that you hustle and you do something every day towards it and have mentors and learn from everyone else's experience and everyone else's journey because there's no blueprint. And I think that's where the fear from a lot of people come from because you can't guarantee it how you can guarantee a career path for something that's a little bit more conventional.
You just don't know if it's going to work or not.
Yeah.
And what does
or
work... Or
how to make it work.
Right. Or what does work even mean for you?
Yeah.
And then if you do everything right like you were doing, you run into a gatekeeper.
Oh, yeah. It was trial and error.
Yeah.
I don't know about everything right, but... I guess you could argue that because everything's going pretty good right now.
People are listening to your stuff. Early days, were you hustling mixtapes, making mixtapes, selling your own tapes?
Yeah, not selling. I didn't have enough balls to sell them.
You're just giving away.
Yeah. I was just trying to get anyone to listen that would listen. And
outside Kendrick show, outside a Frank Ocean show.
No, man, outside that Kendrick show in Fillmore's.
Yeah.
It was in Miami, and me and my cousin Juan had been there hella early, and I didn't have enough money to print them or anything like that. So it was just like a couple of burnt CDs and a sheet of white paper, like just regular white paper, no paper. So you fold it up and you just put a piece of tape and you flip it and put Jessie Reyez and my phone number and a smiley face and I bless it and just have them all in my bag. And so I had those and it was just jokes because halfway through his set, he has this part where he like interacts with fans, right? And he reached out his hand to me and I was like, this is my chance, like an idiot, because it's not what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to interrupt the artist in between their set. But I pull out my mixtape and I'm like, my CD. And he's like, and he swerves me. And then I was like, oh, man. And I should have just let it ride. But as a kid, like I used to spam people thinking it was the right thing to do. But that's how I met my manager. So I always feel funny saying don't spam people because people don't enjoy it. But at the end of the day, man, what's supposed to work for you is going to work.
Yeah.
Anyways, so it didn't happen. And me and my cousin ended up like trying to get backstage. Couldn't do it. Trying to wait outside for people. Didn't see anybody. Then a cypher broke out outside. And I was like, all right, cool, fuck it. So I gave away one of my mixtapes and started freestyling. We were just messing around. And then fast forward like 5 years later, I go through my comments, through my YouTube comments, because I feel like it's important to like, if someone put time out of their day to comment and feed me energy, I want to give that back. So every day I'll do that, and I'll go on, I'll answer like a couple in like an hour, a few more than a couple. I'll answer in like an hour. One of the comments was, hey, I was outside that Fillmore show at your cypher, and I just love that I'm watching this Figures music video, and there's 1 million views. I was like, yeah, that's awesome. That made me smile.
That's pretty amazing, actually.
It was cool.
Frank Ocean's your guy, like you love Frank?
Pink Matter is one of my favorite songs ever.
You get close to him?
Did I get close to him?
Yeah, same room?
No.
First time?
No. I mean, I was close, but I like, you know how people can like fangirl or the exact opposite and just be like, and you just suck into yourself and you're like, I can't say anything.
You froze?
Oh, I froze. I couldn't say a damn thing. Where was I? Finland. Thank you. We were in Finland, and he was like 5 feet away, and I was like, I can't do it. Maurice was there. I was just like, I can't do it. I don't want to embarrass myself, and I just have so much respect for his music, and I want to work with him one day. But, you know, I just feel like it's important to follow your instincts, and I know the time maybe isn't right yet, and I just want it to happen a little more naturally as opposed to me going up to him and rambling like I'm rambling now. I don't want to do that. So I just shut my mouth and made a U-turn.
What is it about what he makes that works for you so well?
It's so spiritual. Listen to Pink Matter, and like if you read the lyrics, it's It talks about life and heaven and our concept of God, and what if it's aliens, and what if they're viewing us, like, what are you doing, and talking about conception, and talking about childbirth, and all of this in one song. I think is so cool.
When you were as a songwriter, who was somebody you were looking at when you were really young and starting?
Amy Winehouse.
Amy Winehouse, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love her stuff. Her pain resonated with mine.
I mean, how closely?
Huh?
How closely?
How closely? Very closely. I say this analogy a lot because I feel like when you're in pain and you have family or friends that are watching you go through this, and they love you, so they try to pull you out of this hole, and they say everything's gonna be okay, but it's like they're looking in because they're in the sunshine, you know? This is your support system. Everyone's in the sunshine, and they're looking into this hole, and they're telling you, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna get out of here. Everybody goes through this hole. Everybody's stuck in this hole at one point in their life.
Yeah.
But because they're all up there and speaking to you from this point, because they have to be up there, else otherwise they wouldn't be able to help you. It's hard to believe it. It's hard to like accept that help and think that you will get out. But then when you hear someone else that's in that pain and it hits you the same way, it's almost like you have someone in that hole with you, you know, someone in that hole with you that has no ties to you, that has no
they're not obligated to be there.
Exactly, that's exactly it. It's not obligated to be there, but somehow your words are consolation to what I'm going through. I think that's crazy, and that's how she affected me.
When you were listening to her music and you were writing songs, that was something that worked for you?
What do you mean?
Like when you were developing yourself as a songwriter?
Yeah, I mean, I studied. Yeah. But the one thing that really, like, you know, you could. I mean, I was trying, but it's difficult because I was small when I got introduced to Amy, and you're aiming for this, but you don't really have life experience, and you don't really have maybe the vocabulary, and you don't really a lot of things. So even though I was trying, I don't think I was getting anywhere close to that. But it wasn't until later on that I actually went to the Remix Project, and some of the critiques that I got from Daniel Daly, who was one of my mentors there, really helped me about like how to deliver a message in a song and what's important.
Tell people what the Remix Project is. It's really important. It doesn't get talked about enough.
Hell yeah. The Remix Project is an art incubator for youth in the Toronto area, GTA. There's one in Chicago as well, and they have a pilot project in New York. To break it down even more, it's if you don't, like, it's kids like me, you know, you don't have money for a studio, you don't have access to networks, and they provide it for you, and they provide it for you as well as the other kids that made it into the program at the same time. And it's cool because if you're a singer, then you can walk out of there with a mixtape, and if you're a videographer, then you can walk out of there with a catalog by providing a service to your fellow Remix Project member, you know. And that's hella dope. And I think what really, 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 like, to the umpteenth degree of how it affected me is having success, someone else's success, right in front of you. Because it's different when a kid's watching TV and watching music videos and knowing that they want to accomplish this. It's difficult to make that connection of like, this is where I am, and inside this electrical box is the reality I want, but it's so far removed. But when you're like, mentorship is the realest thing. When you're able to have someone close to you that's advancing and working hard and has accolades and all that stuff, it becomes that much more real that you can accomplish this. It becomes that much more like not so far away in the box or on a billboard or too epic. It's like getting perspective on the mountain.
Yeah. It's not as big as you think it is, but sometimes it's even bigger if you're not looking at it.
Yeah.
Well, how different would your life have been if you got that girl group job? Because you auditioned for a girl group, right?
Yeah, with Tice. Shout out Tice. He was one of the few people that actually gave me a shot way back then, because I sucked, you know, so it's fine that a lot of people didn't give me the time of day, but like he was one of the people that like cared to be like, all right, let's come here. You have potential. Let me try. And how different would my life have been? I don't know.
But what is, like, how does somebody go from sucking to not?
Practice.
It's just that simple in your
Practice.
world? Yeah?
We're talking about practice.
It's right.
Okay.
It's Allen Iverson, the best player.
Yo, real life though, you can do anything if you just practice, man. Practice. I know some people talk about talent and all that stuff, but you could find a lot of unsuccessful, talented people because they don't have the work ethic to practice, or they don't have the determination or like the dedication to practice. You could do anything. I could become a gymnast if I really wanted to.
Yeah.
You know, the things we can't do are like against the laws of physics, and even that right now is getting tested. So you can do anything. You just got to work for it.
And so you just sat down and practiced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tice told me, he's like, study the greats. He's like, you want to be great, you want to be awesome, study the greats. I studied Beyonce's runs, studied Amy's runs. Like, to be able to run a show like Michael Jackson for like hours and still maintain that endurance in your voice and have that consistency and not suck at the last hour, that's incredible. That's something I aim for. Like, I'm not even close to that yet. I aim for that. Still, it's like a consistent battle.
Hear that sound of people outside. They're getting ready to watch you play the house.
I know.
I'm really excited for this. Thanks for coming and doing
Thanks
it
for having me here. Sorry if I talk too much sometimes.
No, it's perfect. You would talk. You're supposed to do that here.
Okay, cool.